Nothing changes until you change. Let that sit with you for a moment, because deep down you already know it's true. You've waited, you've hoped. You've prayed that something outside of you would just shift the situation, the people, the timing, the luck. You told yourself, when this changes, then I will. But days turned into months, and months turned into years, and nothing moved. Not because life is cruel, but because life responds to who you are, not who you wish you could be. This message matters because it speaks directly to that moment you feel stuck. To the quiet frustration of doing the same things over and over, yet expecting different results. It's for the person who knows they're capable of so much more, yet feels trapped in patterns they never consciously chose. If you've ever felt like your life is on pause while everyone else is moving forward, this is for you. There's a story so many of us live but rarely admit. You wake up, go through the motions, and tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. You promise you'll make a change when the timing is better, when the fear is gone, when motivation magically appears out of nowhere. But tomorrow just keeps moving, and the version of you who was supposed to change never shows up. It's not because you're weak, but because real change demands honesty. And being honest with ourselves is often uncomfortable. Nothing changes until you change because the world is a mirror. Your habits create your days. Your days create your life. The conversations you avoid, the risks you don't take, the boundaries you refuse to set, they all quietly shape your reality. You don't notice it at first. It feels normal. It feels familiar, safe, but comfort has a cost. And that cost is the life you could have been living. You felt it, haven't you? That inner tension. That nagging feeling that something is just off, that you're living beneath your potential. You try to ignore it, you distract yourself, you tell yourself it's not the right time. But that feeling doesn't go away. It waits patiently. Because it's not there to hurt you, it's there to wake you up. Here rests the hard truth. Waiting for life to change first is how people stay stuck forever. Growth doesn't begin when your circumstances improve. Your circumstances improve when you do, when you choose discipline over comfort, when you choose action over excuses. When you stop negotiating with that version of yourself that's always afraid. Change isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself with a big fanfare. It starts in the silence. In the decisions no one sees or applauds. Waking up a little earlier. Walking away from what drains your energy. Saying no when you've always said yes. Choosing consistency even when your motivation has completely disappeared. These moments feel so small, but they're not. They are everything. There will be resistance. There always is. The old version of you will fight back. It will whisper all the reasons you should stay the same. It'll remind you of past failures, of embarrassment, of pain. But that voice isn't protecting you, it's just preserving its comfort. And comfort, when left unchecked, becomes a cage. The real shift happens when you realize this. You don't need to feel ready to change, you just need to be willing. Willing to be uncomfortable. Willing to be misunderstood. Willing to fail forward. The moment you stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if I stay the same? That's when everything changes. One day, something just clicks. You react differently. You stop blaming others. You stop waiting. You stop asking for permission to become the person you know you need to be. That's the turning point. Not when life becomes easy, but when you become intentional. When you finally understand that no one is coming to save you, and that's not a tragedy, it's your greatest power. The core lesson is simple but completely transformative. Your life changes the moment your identity changes. When you start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. Someone who shows up for themselves. Someone who chooses growth even when it hurts. Once that shift happens inside, your actions have no choice but to follow. And when your actions change, your results will too. Look back at your life with complete honesty. Every single breakthrough came after a decision. Every setback came from a pattern, and every single pattern can be broken, but only by you. Not tomorrow. Not someday, now. So if you want more confidence, act with courage. If you want a different future, build different habits. If you want a different life, you have to become a different version of yourself. Because nothing changes until you change. And the moment you do, everything else begins to follow. Thanks for watching.